In this video, I am going to introduce you to the world of UFUNC. UFUNC is a API library which is now part of NXOpen itself, and this has got tremendous APIs which can be useful for you as an NXOpen developer. You might have gone through my earlier videos and already understood about UFUNC, but this video is going to be a different one. Here I am going to try and touch upon the several classes available in UFUNC and what are the topics that this class cover and what are the different APIs, what are the possibilities, what are the different functions available within that classes which can be useful for you to explore. So let's get started. You could see that we are going to explore the different classes available in UFUNC, and I will try to cover as much as classes possible, and I am also going to introduce you to those classes and what are those classes meant for. So let's start with UFMODL. UF stands for user function and MODL stands for modeling. So this is the class. It is categorized with all the functions which are relevant for modeling routines. With this UFMODL, we can perform various modeling operations. We can even create the different kind of features. We can even go and query those objects created by the feature through this class. And of course it is also covering the expressions. We can go and create, delete, edit the expressions from this class. So there are several queries that we can do using UFMODL, and it lists us the different items, and there are lot of functions you can find which are available in UFMODL. If you have not seen my video where I have talked about the UF uh, help guide, how you can go to that guide and how you can download, not download actually, it's a online guide. So you can refer to that earlier video and know that which is the help guide that you can refer for UF functions. And if you navigate to the UF MODL, you will able to find out different details, different functions available within that class. So which can be useful for you as an NXOpen developer. To tell you in a brief that MODL is mainly meant for the modeling related functions, and it does covers different functions including the bodies. We can go and query faces, edges, features. We can even go and query the body structures. So as there are many other classes, so this class also do have several functions which can be useful to query the objects related to modeling. We can also go and extract the information about holes, chamfers, fillets, patterns, even constraints. So all of those objects we can query using MODL function. And need not to say that it is also covers the fetching of the information related to datum axis, and whether it is the datum plane, whether it is any other coordinate related objects are there. And yeah, so in short, if I tell you, MODL is something which has got a huge list of functions that we can use in our programming to get the maximum out of our program. So there is no limit to what you are trying to find out, and which is related to the modeling. If you go to this particular UFMODL class, you are going to get the information about it. I do wanted to cover a lot about UFMODL, but for the scope of this particular video, I would like to restrict it to the very few information, a little information about the one, because I would like to cover as much as possible. Also, I am looking forward to create a specific video on each of the classes, which will give you more insight about the specific class. For now, let's move on to the next one, which is UF curve. Now, UF curve is a class which is dealing with the points, arcs, lines, and splines. So if you are working with this kind of objects, you can get into the UF curve class, and you will find the functions related to the curves in this specific class. Here as well, there are a lot of functions which are related to querying the curves. You can query the line, spline, arc, even point. You can get the different the various relevant information about those objects which are in context with the other geometries, other geometry types, including faces, edges, and bodies. You get all that information via querying the functions available in UF curve, which are definitely useful for the people who are looking to work on the geometry calculation or geometry related logic. So you can query this information, and not just query, but you can also go and create these objects. And there are several ways to create each and every type of object. For example, line, you can create a line using two or three different methods manually if you do it in NXOpen yourself. But if you are using any of the UF curve functions or APIs to do that, you will find several options to create line. Similarly, you will find more than 10 options to create arc, and these are the different options that you can take use of and choose which one which is useful for you. And similarly, you got an several options to create a point, spline, and fillet as well. And not just create, but you can also go and edit all those objects available for you in UF curve. So this is about UF curve. Now let's talk about UFDISP, which is nothing but UF display. This includes the functions containing the prototypes and description of a display functions. So display objects, whatever it is, you can access the prototypes and description of it. It also includes the temporary display, color, and the model bounds access of those uh, the geometries, displayable geometries. In addition, this contains the functions in UF DISP model. This model is to be used to display UDO objects. So UDO objects, if you are displaying UDO geometries, those you can also use in this class. These functions should be called from user program. The user program can be registered with a display selection, fit, and attention point blocks. So mainly this covers the features and dimensions of a displayable object, or a object which you can see on a graphics area. It describes the functions that enable you to display the sketch and also the dimensions. We can also access the color related information, and we can even go and modify the color values to any color. And when it comes to the model bounds, are these are the functions that enable you to query model bounds. We can even go and enable or set or query the name view status or name display status. And also object display related functions, like you display the temporary graphics objects, regenerate the display and display objects, you can work with. And similarly, no need to say that there are a lot of functions which are related to the querying of the object. You can query the color, you can query the color count, you can go and query the geometry of material, you can go and query the model bounds, you can go and query the material itself. So those are there are a lot of query related functions that you can find in this DISP class. Also, you can go and create different objects. For example, you can create animation, you can create framed image, you can create uh, The other stuff, for example, yeah, so there are only few when it comes to create. You can only create few type there, but when it comes to the display, there is lot of thing you can do. You can go and display the arc, circle, facet, points, polygon, polyline, even dimensions. So all of this you can display with the functions available in UFDISP. Let's move on. Let's talk about UFCSYS. CSYS stands for Coordinate System, and this is one of the shortest function, I would say, because there are only few functions, few APIs available within this. This specific class enables you to manipulate the matrices and coordinate systems. We can map a point from one coordinate system to a point in other coordinate system using one of the function available in this class. We can even go and create, edit matrices. We can go create, edit, and change the work coordinate system pointer, and also create or read the coordinate system origin. This is one of the short or the smallest class, I would say, but which it is more relevant to creation and edit or modify of coordinate system, matrix, etc. Let's move on to the UFATTR. ATTR is nothing but attributes. In this class, you will find functions related to part and object attributes. We can go and assign attribute title value to an object. We can go and count the attributes with a specified type. You know that there are several types of attributes we can assign into a NX model, and we can count these different types with reference to the specific type of a attribute. We can go and cycle through all the objects and find out the specific type. We can also go and delete the objects of attributes of a specific type. We can search for the object of a specified title there, and we can also read the values of a attribute uh, from from this uh, from this class, I would say. So there are lot of APIs or functions related to the attribute access, modify, and delete are available into this class. Now the next one is UFBERP. Sorry, BREP. BREP, it is also called as BREP, and this BREP module is the basis for NX application code requiring the high level interface to create and inquire about topology and geometry for solid bodies and trimmed surfaces. So it is not just for solid bodies, it is also covering the surfaces. There are two main important uses of BREP. Is one of that is asking about BREP topology and geometry via ask topology and ask geometry. So when we use ask topology, it gives us the parasolid like topology tree for NX solid face, edge, or vertex. And when we use ask geometry, then it returns raw geometry data of a topology entity which may not have the NX entity tag. But topology and geometry, this both we can query from BREP. Also, we can go and create the topology using BREP. What we can do is we can create the topology structure that form the basis for topology tree, and we can build a topology assigning pointers from parents to child topology, and we can also attach the geometry. We can go and create underline NX geometry entities from raw geometry data, and then we can supply and logically attach the geometry to the topology entity. And we can even go and make the body. We can create NX body from your topology tree and corresponding geometry that BREP attached geometry creates. So all of this is possible with the BREP function, and no need to say that it is more or less related to the geometry calculation, geometry formation, geometry creation. And if you have the sound knowledge of basics of geometry creation in any CAD, I would say, because BREP is a very common and a very generic concept as such. If you do have a good knowledge about the geometries, 3D geometries in general, then this is a very important function for you to refer. Now, last but not the least, I am going to talk about UFSK80, which is nothing but sketch. So as name suggests, it is going to have the different functions related to the sketcher in NX. So these are nothing but the sketch functions, and this function enables the use of these sketch functions. For example, creating an empty sketch, initializing and terminating the existing sketch. We can even go and add, extract the geometry objects to a constraint. We can even go and mirror the geometries. Also, it includes creation and deletion of dimensions and geometric constraints. We can go and update the sketch. We can query different constraints type, and we can even query the associated constraints with a geometry. All of that related functions are available into this class. We can get all the geometries, expressions, dimensions, geometric constraint from a sketch. We can even get all the sketches associated with a face or a feature. So if you would like to find out the origin sketch for a feature or a face, then you can do that using this class. And we can also get all the features associated with sketch. That is no need to say. And as any other class does has the list of functions, there is a very huge list of functions available here, that includes asking the different information about the objects. So whether it is a constraint, whether it is a dimension, whether it is a feature, whether it is a the sketch entity. And we can even also go and create the objects, like create dimension, create geometric or dimensional constraint. We can even go and create sketch. We can initialize sketch, terminate sketch, as I already said, because if you are creating any geometry, you would like to add that geometry as a part of sketch, then you need to use this update sketch, or even initialize sketch, so that you can add that you created geometry into the existing sketch. So all of that sketch related functions are available into this UFSK80 class. So for now, I'm done with this video. I will continue to create few more videos to cover all the class, so that you know that there are several classes in UFUNC, and these are the classes that those are meant for. So for now, I will stop here and see you in the next one. Here I am introducing a course called C Sharp Essentials for NXOpen Customization and Programming. Enroll now and unlock the power of customization in NX. Don't miss out. If you like this video, then definitely please uh, hit that like button. And if you wanted to receive such video updates from me, then please do subscribe to my channel as well. Thank you for now. See you. Bye bye.